Thank you all so much for being here. All right, taking a look at is whether the world can endure unending capitalism. Now, my three panelists who are here with us, I just want to let you into a secret. If you're ever doing a television program and you want to really make it exciting, you talk to the guest people and saying, here are three names, and you've got to get these three names. One of these three names and you're fine. Get Alec Padamsee on. Your program will be absolutely interesting, it'll be riveting, it'll be fantastic. Get Surjit Bhalla. He'll be great. He can talk about it. He has very strong views. He's a wonderful person to get on that show. Suhail, he can speak on either side of it actually, probably with equal ease. So it's a fantastic idea to get Suhail on. All right, so Alec Padamsee, Surjit Bhalla, Suhail Seth. First of all, Gordon Gekko said it, and now Surjit Bhalla has said it as well. Greed, in a sense, is good. Do you want to quickly respond, Suhail?
Well, it depends on what kind of greed. I think Mayawati's greed is also good, but we may not all agree with it. I mean, she's the only woman on this planet who's had statues erected of herself with a handbag which is open. I mean, normally you have ladies' statues without handbags. Hers is the only statue in the world with an open handbag. So obviously, she's aspirational as well. So it depends on what kind of greed.
So greed may be good, but it depends on what sort of greed. Why do you say greed is good?
No, because it's human nature. As I said, there is, and Mayawati, there's several other examples, she's not the only one, where greed is bad, absolutely. But overall, if you now take net, that greed leads to innovation, greed leads to aspiration. So if I want to count all the things, the good things greed has done, and all the bad things it does, it's about 90 to 10, 9 to 1. That benefit-cost ratio is better than anything else.
Alec, the problem with socialism, the problem with communism was that it did not, he said it's human nature, and he's right.
Let me first address the idea of greed. I think what you're mistaking greed for is ambition. I'm all for ambition. Greed is something that is negative in the sense that you want to acquire more and more and more. And in a sense, greed is also selfish. Now, if you say selfishness is good, okay, then Ayn Rand said it too. Go ahead.
Okay, but ambition, what Shakespeare had, yet low ambition is a whatever.
No, ambition is good.
Ambition can also be bad. Or you're just phrasing it differently. I mean,
so let's come back to the
ambition is very bad.
Okay, one second.
But greed has done a lot of good for India. Let's be realistic. If we weren't greedy, we wouldn't have had the Commonwealth Games. If we weren't greedy, Delhi wouldn't have been dug up. So there's a desire to do more than is required. We're the only country in the world which will bring a stadium up and below the ground when the Commonwealth Games.
It depends. The underwater, I mean, swimming becomes so much easier in Delhi right now. Kayaking, it's a new event. They hadn't even thought of it. Maybe they could have it, right down the center of Delhi. Okay, so let's just try and get some consensus out here. First of all, greed is a negative word, I agree. So let's just set it aside just for a minute. Self-interest. The fact that at the end of the day, people will do more in their own self-interest and they will for obscure issues like let's do it for the community, let's do it for the neighborhood, let's do it perhaps even for the country. At the end of the day, that's what distinguishes capitalism from socialism. Is there something wrong in this?
That does distinguish.
No. My whole on a more serious.
Is there something wrong with that?
On a more serious note, there's nothing wrong either with socialism or capitalism. You've got to figure out at India's stage of growth, at our current life cycle, when we have the kind of poverty coexisting with the kind of wealth, is greed going to be the denominator of success? I'm talking about determinants of success. In our country, we have rich lists. When was the last time you ever read a give list? And yet, this is the same country where Manusmriti talks about Dan. But today, as Alec himself in his presentation said, we are talking about Bill Gates and the Warren Buffetts becoming the new benchmarks of philanthropy.
Alec, at the end of the day, we might say self-interest is not bad, but at the same time, you have to temper that self-interest, which is what you are saying. Why is it that in India you do not have billionaire philanthropists? I mean, they do it, many of them do it quietly, but it's not as much as it could be.
I have no idea why we don't have it, because I think what we've done is we have followed the American system before Bill Gates and Warren Buffett entered the picture, which is acquire. Sharing is something that, yes, perhaps in the caste system, you might build temples to God. You shared everything with God. That is one of the things that we have in this country, which is very strong, very strong. You're going to have a riot, not on poverty. You can have a riot not on starvation, but religion, boom. There you have a riot instantly. You just have to throw a pig in front of a mosque, or you have to do something strange to an idol, and boom, you've got everything. What we know our priorities, our system of priorities as to what it is to be a happy human being. I'm not even saying a good. I'm not necessarily saying good, oh, you must be good, you must be Gandhi and so on. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying what it is to be happy. Yes, some people feel to be greedy is to be happy. I, for one, am not in favor. But when you say self-interest, I absolutely agree. What's in it for me is a great motivator. That is the first question I always ask. What's in it for me?
Doing it for
yes.
God or doing it for
and
the
if what's
nation.
in it for me is becoming a helper of Mother Teresa, good, that's fine. Or if what's in it for me is becoming another Birla, all fine.